Hi you guys, it's Karina. So I am back with another video tutorial, and today it's going to be on my template 39, which is a sunflower slash daisy inspired template. So not that long ago I did upload a new video tutorial on my template 76, which is the little version, the smaller version of this template. So I did do a tutorial for you guys on that one, and then I also shared how to create this adorable sunflower inspired center using one of my centers as well, which is my SVG center 1. So you can definitely use the same center. So if you want to watch that video tutorial, you can apply those steps for this template as well. But template 39 is meant for large and extra large paper flowers. So this is the OG template. When I first started off making paper flowers, I used to make really large flowers, like in the 2022 range, and that all stopped when shipping got super expensive. So the flower that you see here right in front of you is roughly around 18 inches, and that's not even using the two largest petals like this. So this can definitely go up depending, but it could go up to 23, 24 inches. Again, depending on how many petals you use, because as you can see, this does require a lot of petals. Okay, so this is a 4-layer flower that we're going to be making today. And then I'm also going to show you guys a cute, because sometimes it's a lot of work doing all the cutting for the petals and then having to add another center that can be really time consuming, can be a lot of work, and sometimes I get lazy and I'm like, well, I'm not trying to do all that work. So this is one of my favorite centers from Cricut Design Space. I discovered the center many years ago when I first created this template, because again, I wanted something simple that I didn't really have to stress out about. I am going to show you in a little bit the name of the image if you want to go ahead and use the same image. Not even with this necessarily template, you can use it with any other template, but I don't know, when I seen it the first time, it just reminded me of a sunflower, so I always gravitated towards the center. And it's super simple because it is one of the pop-ups, so I always just flip the image around. So these are definitely going to be flat, and then you're just going to poke them out, okay? And that's what's going to give it like this 3D effect look. But for this particular tutorial, we're going to be doing a handheld or hand cut center, just in case if you don't have access to a Silhouette machine or a Cricut machine. I am going to show you a center which is similar vibes to this center that I shared with you guys on my YouTube, and also I have video tutorials on my Instagram. But I figured, you know what, let me show you my hand cut version in case you just have a pair of scissors, because again, you don't need cutting machines in order to make paper flowers. You can now that I'm working with smaller, I do tend to use my cutting machines, but back in the day I was pretty much 100% pretty much hand cutting centers and templates. So we're gonna finishing this one up, okay, believe it or not, because I mean it is time consuming. So we're gonna finish her up when we do our flowers. So let me show you what the template looks like. So you do receive 8 petals, and I'm so sorry if you hear me sniffling. My allergies have been so bad the past couple of days. I'm over it. But anyways, let me move her out of the way. So this is what the template looks like. So you will receive 8 petals. Now the difference with the other template, the mini version 76, you do receive 9 petals. I mean, they're small. But with that particular template, you can only go from smallest 4 inches to the biggest 12 inches. Here, smallest roughly, honestly. So this is the smallest that I created, and she's, oh my gosh, now I forgot, was it 7 inches? No, around 9 inches. Now this is using 2 petals. If we just wanted to use the smaller petal only, just a 2-layer, then roughly around 6 inches. So just keep that in mind. Again, this particular template is more for the larger, okay? Now largest, you could, again, that flower I just showed you was 18 inches, and that wasn't even using the 2 largest petals, okay? That was using the 3rd and the 4th petal. So she can definitely go up to the 20-inch range, like 21, 22 inches, maybe even 23, 24. Again, that will depend how you space the petals, and how many you use will make the flower wider, okay? Now, this tutorial is just giving you an idea of how to create this flower and which petals, and just follow the same techniques if you want to make the smaller ones or if you want to make larger flowers, okay? Now, I am on Design Space because I do want to show you what the SVG looks like, okay? I believe I did do a walkthrough with template 76 as well. So you are going to go to your uploads. Now, when you download the SVG, make sure it's going to go straight to your downloads, okay? So then you're going to go to upload image. Now, I already have it here uploaded, but just let me show you. You're going to go to your upload images. You're going to go to browse. Give it a couple of seconds. So I know that mine went, most likely yours is going to go straight to downloads. So then you're going to look for 39 template SVG, and you are going to open. Now, you're going to get this. It is okay if you get, did you see how there was like that big old orange banner? I don't even know why, honestly, because when I created it, it's in the box that it's supposed to be in. So I'm lost with that one. So you're just going to keep continuing up until you get to upload. Now the image is going to show up. So as you can see, I don't know why it was telling me it was so large, because I mean, it really isn't. You're going to come over here to this box. You're going to stretch it out because obviously that's too small for you to read. You're going to stretch it out. So then that way you are able to read the instructions. Now, with all my SVGs, that goes for all my other templates. These are not instructions for you on how to assemble the flower. None of my templates, none, have instructions, written instructions on how to create the flower. I am more of a visual person, so I make sure that every single template of mine has a tutorial. That goes for all my templates you see, you guys. They all have a tutorial, whether that is on Instagram or that is on YouTube. I am making my efforts to create all of them to have tutorials on YouTube. I was more of an Instagram girl back in the day, but now it seems like now more it's TikTok, YouTube. So I am trying to create all these videos for YouTube. Hence why I'm doing this right now, because they do have old tutorials on Instagram, but honestly, they're so hard to find. But those links are provided under the description of the template. So whenever you purchase a template of mine off Etsy, please read the description, the item description, because underneath all the video tutorials will be linked for you to copy and paste, and they will take you directly to the videos. Because I can't tell you how many times I've had clients say, well, I don't know how to make the flower. Well, they are written in the instructions for you, and under the item description under Etsy, for you to copy and paste, and it will take you directly to the video tutorials. And sometimes read, because I do put also links for you guys for ideas for centers, okay? Which there will be one on here for another center that you could create using the Aster image from Cricut Design Space that's already on my Instagram. I am going to make a new one here for YouTube as well. When, I don't know, I'm hoping next week I can get that out for you guys, because these centers are time consuming. But anyways, let's get to it. So notice it is grouped. You're going to come over here and ungroup the image. That is going to separate the petals from the wording. Now you're going to read this, and we are going to resize the petals. Again, this is an SVG, you guys, so I'm only going to give you the original measurements, but from there, if you decide that you want them larger or smaller, you definitely can. So let's go to the first one. It says keep image locked when resizing. So that just means make sure this little lock is locked, okay? Because then that way it's not going to change the proportions. Measurements of petal, red, 9.1. We're only doing height. So you're going to come over here to height, highlight that. I'm sorry, I'm holding my phone with one hand. So it's kind of wobbly. So there we go. That's the first petal, 9.1. Orange petal, 8.8. Come here, highlight it, 8.8. All right, you get the gist. You're going to do this to all of them, you guys. Then once all the sizing has been done, my recommendation to you, delete the wordings, because obviously we don't want that to be cut, and then save your work. That way you don't have to constantly be resizing this template, okay? Now for today's tutorial, I am going to be using the green and aqua petals, so only 2 petals. And I am going to make 30 of each one. I may need more or less, but my thing is I feel maybe 15 might work for each layer. Most likely not, but from there, if I need more, then I can just trace and cut. And honestly, I think I'm gonna do that anyways, you guys, that I am not gonna have my cutting machine cut out my petals for me, just because they're larger and I just don't have the patience for the machine to cut out 1 sheet at a time, and with only 5 petals or 4 petals on it, I'm just gonna stack up my papers and cut, and I'll show you how I'm gonna do that right now. Okay, I was trying to figure out what color to use. I think we're gonna go with peach, not your typical sunflowerish color, but we're gonna go with peach today. So this is the peach color from the brand Spring Hill. I want to say it's either 65 or 67. It might be 67 volume, which honestly it feels the same as the 65-pound cardstock. So you can get this off from Amazon. Now back in the day, you guys, it used to be cheap. Honestly, I used to buy this a 250 pack for honestly, one time I think I got it for like $6. Okay, that's not the case anymore. The prices definitely have like tripled, maybe even more. But anyways, you can find this honestly Walmart to Office Supply. Just Google the brand Spring Hill cardstock. They do have a little bit of colors. So but I do love their peach. This is my go-to peach from them. So you're gonna need, if you're going to trace and cut, you're gonna need scissors, the template obviously, and a pencil to trace. Now remember, I said you're going to need the 3rd and the 4th petal going from largest to smallest. Okay, and then I said roughly I'm going to start off with 30 of each. Now this is a 4 layer, so I am doubling the first layer, or the first petal, and I'm doubling the other petal as well. But this is up to you. When I showed you guys a tutorial for template 76, I did do only a 3 layer, and I just did 2 layers of the larger and then 1 layer of the smaller. So you definitely can do it however you wish. Now again, if you're not a trace and cut person, because believe me, I've had a few people tell me they're not good cutting with scissors, that's why the SVG is there for you. So as you can see, this is what I mean by tracing and cutting. So if you get the PDF, I recommend for you to print it off cardstock, cut it out, and then create your own hard copy template to trace and cut. So now, I'm not only going to cut 1 sheet. I can do 4 at a time. See, this is why I prefer to hand cut than having the machine cut it for me, because, I mean, as you can see, only 4 petals fit. So I'm just gonna, might as well just cut 4 at a time. So now I'm gonna get my scissors. Now you need to make sure that you have scissors. If you're gonna be cutting through a lot of cardstock, you need scissors that are made for cutting cardboard, thick paper, because not all scissors are made equally. I cannot stress enough how much I love this particular brand, especially these, the Carbo Titanium from the brand Westcott. This is not an ad, nothing. I absolutely love them. I have many pairs from them. I've been using them for many, many years. I highly recommend their scissors, and you can find these Walmart, Amazon. I think the first batch that I bought was from Walmart. So you're just gonna cut out your petals. Voila. And then you will have 4 petals. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut all my petals, get them ready for you for the tutorial. Okay, you guys, let me show you how to prep your petals. I'm going to put one here for an example on something I want to show you. So make sure that when you cut, we are cutting almost halfway. Then you're going to add a small dot of glue and then cross over and glue. Okay, super easy. Now, I just wanted to show you what happens if you do a small cut. Say we do a small cut like this. When we glue, our petal is going to be laying up more. Do you see that? How it's standing up more? Whereas this one, it's laying more flat. And that's exactly what we want. Now, if you want that look of the petals to lay more up more, then you can do a small cut. But because I want this to be more of a flat flower, this is why we're going halfway length up, okay? Just wanted to share that tip with you. And that honestly goes with any flowers that you are creating. Depending on how you cut in the center will determine how the petal will lay, if it's gonna lay forward more or lower, okay? Did that sound right? Forward or lower? Okay, so we're gonna start off with the first layer. So your goal here, just like with all my other templates, is that you're going to go around in a circle. Now, my circle doesn't always come out perfect. It can be wonky. If you've seen some of my videos, you know I don't always get this right the first time. Hence why you're only going to do a small dot of glue in the corner in case we have to readjust petals. And then you're just gonna glue the petal right on top. Small dot. Add the petal right on top. Now, don't worry so much how the petals are being spaced. I mean, obviously you don't want that big of a spacing between them. Well, again, it's up to you. It's all on your preference. If you want them to do super duper close, I just go with it. Now, as you can see, the shape is already forming. Do you see how our circle is starting to take shape? Oh, glue gun, I am using the Surebonder Mini Detailed Glue Gun. We're almost there. And I'm pretty sure that I used more than 15 petals. We'll see right now how many. Right, we can squeeze one more in. Then we're gonna glue right here. Voila, we are done. So my circle's more like a little ovalish, but this is what your goal is, to get that circle in the center, okay? So now let's count how many I use. Again, this isn't always gonna be the same amount for you or next time I do this flower. So I'm gonna start off here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18 petals I use. So not 15 like I had said, but that's because the other flower did do 15. So again, it's always going to vary, and that is fine. So then that means the other layers are going to be the same amount. So I'm definitely going to have to cut out extra. Now, we're going to have to cover up that gap. So get yourself the same color. We are going to cut out a circle that is going to be large enough to cover that up. That should be good. Blue. Cover that up. So that is your first layer. So now for the second layer, you are going to go in between, and this is going to be still the same size. And now you're just going to go in between and put your petals, your next petals, okay? So let me go ahead and finish up the second layer. All right, so I am done with the second layer. So now we are on to the third layer. So now this is the next size. Same amount. You're gonna repeat the same steps where you're gonna add glue. And now we're gonna go in between petals. So now we're gonna go in between these, and the petal's gonna line up with the first layer. So do you see that petal behind here? So this petal, this third layer, is gonna go line up right in front. So show you one more. Add your glue. And then just lining up. Just be careful though, because there are a lot of petals. So, well, at least for me, my eyes start to play tricks on me. So just make sure that you're using that back petal as your guide as to where this petal has to lay. Okay, so let me go ahead and finish this third layer. Okay, you guys, so I am done with that third layer. So we are on to the last layer. You could leave it here with just 3 layers, but I want more of a fuller look. So now this time I'm gonna add glue to the left. So facing me, this is my left, because we're gonna tuck that last petal in. So now we're gonna go in between these two. So now make sure that this one lines up with the second layer, okay? So again, line this petal up with the second layer, but make sure you're also going in between these two. I'm telling you, once you start adding all these layers, they can play a little trick on your eyes, at least for me. But this is serving as my guide where that second one is. I'm just making sure this one is right behind it, okay, or in front of it. All right, let me go ahead and finish this last layer and I'll be right back. All right, you guys, so I am down to my last petal, but I wanted to show you how I tuck it in. So I'm gonna add glue to the back. So this is the one that I only glued on the left. So I am gonna tuck this right underneath. And then all done. That's just because it gives it a seamless look, just a continuous look of going around. And we are all done with the fourth layer. Isn't that pretty? Now, if you wanted to, you definitely can continue, but we're gonna stop here because now we're gonna focus on the center. So again, you could do whatever you want. If you want something simple, because you know, now we did a lot of layers of petals, maybe we want something simple. Again, this is a beautiful center that you could do from Cricut. And just to glue, guys, I always just do like little dots of glue around, not too much, and then just glue her on. So I'm going to show you right now on Design Space what that image looks like if you are interested. Now, figuring out the size, this is what I do. I get my measuring tape. I measure the width of how wide I am going to want the center, okay? And then I go to Design Space or Silhouette and enter those measurements. So for example, here, I'd say around 6.5. So then I'll go on Design Space or Silhouette and enter those measurements. So then that way, I'm not guessing the size, okay? Because believe me, when I first started out, it was a lot of trial and error. And finally I was like, why don't I just measure, you know, inside the flower, and that way I can figure out how big I need the center to be, okay? Now, that is mostly for any flat center that you're going to be using for inside, okay? But when it comes to like these kind of centers, well, at least for me, it is more of a trial and error, trying to figure out how many I have to add in order to get it to the size that I want, okay? So what should we do first? Let me show you what that image looks like. All right, you guys, so this is what the image looks like, but I wanted to share another one that I had also seen, having used it, but very intrigued, and I think one of these days I'm gonna test it out and see. But let me give you the names of them. So this one right here is the one that I showed you. Type in this number right here in the search engine. Sorry, I keep moving it there. So the M3E1A49, make sure you add that hashtag, the pound. And then this one, first let me exit off of that one. And then here's the number for that one. So that one is called Sunflower. Don't ask me how I found this one. I found it many years ago, and honestly, I don't even know how I found it. But make sure you add that number if you want to look for it. So here is what the images looks like. So this is that first one I shared with you. Remember, just to change the sizing up here. And here is that other one that I showed you. I don't know. I think it might work also. I think it's cute. It is a 3-layer center. So this is also another option, you guys, that you guys could probably do as a sunflower center. I'm definitely going to try this center at some point. When, I don't know, maybe when I find the time, but I am curious to see how that would look. But yeah, I just wanted to share those images with you guys. All right, so now on to the hand cut center. So I am going to full warn you that this is a time consuming center, but again, it is for hand cutting. I'm pretty sure there's an image on Design Space that's similar to the one that I'm going to show you. If you don't feel like hand cutting. So you are going to need 10 full sheets of 8.5 by 11. Okay. As of now, I have 7 full sheets here. So for the center part, you're going to need 8 sheets. Okay. Now I am using cardstock. I don't know why this keeps going in and out. I am using cardstock 8.5 by 11. This is from Michaels as part of the brown pack that has like 5 different colors. This is one of them. I feel it's more like a craft, what do they call that? Like a craft board kind of color. So fold it in the center. Now you're going to cut. So remember, you're going to need 8 of these. The way that I am cutting them, you're going to have to prep 8 of them. Fold that in half again. Cut in the center. So you're going to want 4 strips. Now, for this, so if you make the sunflower larger using the larger petals, then that just means that you're going to need more paper. Okay. If you're going to go smaller, then you would need less. Honestly, it's just a guessing game. So now from here, you're going to fold this in half again. Okay, but we're not cutting it anymore. Now we're going to go over here to the side that's folded, that's creased. And you are going to cut little strips, but you're not cutting all the way, because if you do, then you're just cutting the whole strip off. Now again, I'm pretty sure I had, oh my gosh, I had a brain freeze, and now I remembered the marigold image, you guys. The famous marigold image that I use to make my spiral centers. That image you can use. Obviously, you're going to have to work with the sizing. You're going to have to make them thinner and smaller in order to achieve this, but all you're going to do is just fold that image in half. So yes, there is an image. So again, marigold. It's like an orange palm looking image. If you want to know what that image looks like, look for my spiral video here on YouTube that's dedicated to spiral center. And if you're wondering what that is, this is the image, the spiral, the center that I create with that image. And I do share with you guys how that image looks like on Design Space. So anyways, this is what you're gonna do to all the strips. There's gonna be a lot of them. You're gonna turn them inside out. Why? This gives it more volume. And honestly, it makes these stand up straighter, because if you did the other way, then what's gonna happen is these are kind of gonna lay at an angle. I've tried this before, so yeah, you're just gonna wanna turn those inside out. And you are going to roll them. Adding glue along the way. Just like that. So I'm gonna do the other ones. This is why I didn't show you all of it, because again, it is very time consuming. But again, do all of these, fold them, and then just French them like I showed you. Turn them inside out and roll. So let me finish these up. Now, I did want to share just to show you how to get started. So this is the last one that I do need to wrap around this one. But when you first start this center, make sure that when you're rolling it really tight. Okay, so this is the initial part of when you get started on this center. Just to show you. Just like this, okay? So this is how it's gonna look, and that's when you're gonna keep on adding. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. So we're just gonna add that one onto here. Okay. And we are all done with that center part. I mean, it's heavy, you guys. So again, this was 8.5 by 11 sheets cut in fourths, okay? So now we should, I don't know if we're gonna need 1 or 2. I'll be quite honest with you. We're gonna wing this. So we're gonna go ahead, fold this in half. I have an idea what I want to do, so we're gonna go with it. Cut that in half. Fold that in half again. And this one too. Okay, now we're going to fringe. Just show you with one. Same concept, but I'm gonna do really small, thin strips, okay? Not too big. Do you see that? Just like that. So I'm gonna do that to all 4 of them. All right, you guys, so I have by 1 here. So let me just show you. We're gonna go ahead and add this first strip. And we're gonna glue her around. She's so wide that it's so hard to get the whole hand there, to use both hands. All right, so that's only 1. So I'm gonna go ahead and do all 4 of them, and we're gonna glue these around. So let me finish these 3. Okay, you guys, so I have them all wrapped, those 4. So now what you're going to do is you are going to push these back. There's one tucked over here. Voila, I'm telling you, she is heavy. And then you're going to get your flower, add glue to the back, and then you are going to glue her in the center. Isn't that pretty? I'm going to go ahead and put her over here on the floor because she's massive, so it's kind of hard to get the whole look. Now, I did use 9 sheets. I did not use 10. If you wanted to do the 10, because now I kind of feel bad that I have one more. Technically, I could add another layer, another layer out here to make it more fuller, but I'm not going to lie to you. My fingers hurt from all the cutting. That last strip, I was like, I can't do them thin. I'm going to have to go a little bit wider because my hand started to hurt. So you could add another layer either to the inside or to the outside if you wanted to do the full 10 sheets, because that might bug some of you that, oh, just 9, not 10. So again, you could add it to out here or the inner part. Okay, so we are done with that. I'm going to take you to the carpet so you can take a better look. All right, you guys, so they are over here on the carpet, excuse me. So template 39, I hope you found that helpful. I hope that you can figure out this center. Honestly, super simple. I mean, honestly, there's not really much to figure out. It's just going to be time consuming, you guys, but I definitely think that it's definitely worth it. But again, if you're just not wanting to do a big center like that, just go on Design Space or Silhouette and find something that you could put in the center to complete the look. So again, these centers are from Cricut Design Space. Super cute, super adorable. Like, look, I love how they like pop out. Do you see that? Super duper cute. So yeah, I hope you found that helpful, and I will chat with you guys later. Bye.